welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I am Lupagus, and today we're going to talk about some draft prospects and if they're still in play for the Vikings at pick 12. Kind of coming full circle early in draft season. These guys were kind of common mock pick to the Vikings at 12. Are they still a possibility for the Vikings as we get closer and closer to the draft, which is just 16 days away at this point? So let's talk about that right now. Before we do, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the vids. Are closing in on 7,000. Hashtag 7,000 in the comments for a chance to win Onebar and Lupagus Yeti Cup, a Onebar and Lupagus hat, and a $50 gift card to Dick's Sporting Goods. So hashtag 7,000 in the comments. All right, so are these players still options for the Minnesota Vikings? You know, back in January, even February, you're seeing these names, commonly associated with the Vikings on any mock drafts that were coming out. So let's hit these guys up and see if there's still a possibility for these players to be options for the Vikings. Let's start with the quarterback from Liberty, Malik Willis. This is before the Kirk Cousins extension. Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett, quarterback was a fairly common option for the Vikings at 12, but now I just don't see this happening. And number one, Vikings extending Kirk Cousins. He wants to be here for the rest of his career, however long that is. I just don't know if any of these quarterbacks are the ones the Vikings want to commit to long-term. Still a very, very, no, it's not going to happen. They're not going quarterback 12. Malik Willis might actually go out the board at 6 to the Panthers. Who knows? But I do not think he is an option for the Vikings at 12 anymore at all. Let's go to the center from Iowa, Tyler Linderbaum. This was always a pick that kind of divided Vikings fans. A lot of them didn't want to see him address the center position, first overall for the Vikings the second time in 4 years. They did it back in 2018 at pick 18 with Garrett Bradbury. If you don't get it right, maybe you shouldn't keep trying. But again, right now, Tyler Linderbaum at 12, it seems like a long shot at best. It seems like his stock is kind of falling as we get closer and closer to the draft. Still a great player, but not sure if he's 100% healthy right now. It just feels like his arrow is pointing down. I do not think he's an option for the Vikings. I think they are going to roll Bradbury. They got a little better at guard with Jesse Davis and Chris Reeves. So I think they feel a little bit better about their offensive line than they did when the free agency period started. So Tyler Linderbaum, long shot at 12, not ruling it out, but I just don't think it's going to happen. So I don't think he's an option anymore with the Vikings at 12. Let's go with the cornerback, Trent McDuffie from Washington, a very, very popular pick, pretty much almost from day one when mock drafts started coming out. And to me, he is still an option for the Vikings at pick 12. And the reason why is because he is the fallback option. Let's just do a high school analogy here. You got the two hot girls. You got Ahmad Sauce Gardner, Derek Stingley. Maybe you shoot your shot with them first because you got this girl. Maybe you mess around. Maybe you guys are good friends, but you could fall back to her if they shoot you down. You got another option to go to the dance with. And maybe, after a while, you guys will fall in love. She's still cute. She's good looking, but she's just not that upper echelon like a Stingley or a Sauce. Trent McDuffie is that fallback option. He is plan B, a player who – he's a little undersized, be outside, but he does everything well. He's so smart. He's aggressive in run support. A player that, he is your fallback option. He's plan B, but he could be a very, very solid player in this league for a long time and could end up giving you great value for pick 12. So I definitely think he is in play for the Vikings at 12 as, kind of worst case scenario fallback option. Let's go to linebacker Devin Lloyd from Utah, the big, lanky, physical, attacking middle linebacker. Again, this was kind of seen as a best player available pick early in the draft seasons back in January, February, even early March when we're doing mocks. Sometimes it just fell this way, and Devin Lloyd was the best player the Vikings could go with. He still could be the best player on the board when they're on the clock on April 28th, but I just don't see him going with an inside linebacker here. You got Jordan Hicks, you got Eric Kendricks, you got some youth behind them, Chaz Surratt, Blake Lynch, Troy Dye. There is plenty of options. Yeah, a lot of those guys down the depth chart aren't super appealing, but you still don't want to give up on them just yet. So Devin Lloyd is still slight possibility, but I really don't see him being an option for the Vikings at pick 12, though you do hear a couple rumbles about it. I think Charge just put something up about him today, so still not dead, but very, very slim that Devin Lloyd will be an option for the Vikings at pick 12. And let's go with the last one, It's George Karlaftis, the edge rusher from Purdue. Again, February, this guy was a very common mock pick to the Vikings. That was prior to us signing Zadarius Smith. But even so, 3-4 defenses never have enough outside linebackers, never have enough edge rushers. George Karlaftis, you got to love his motor. Very productive, very physical. Does not stop coming after the quarterback until the whistle blows. Always attacking, always pursuing. Personally, I would like to have him have him a little bit longer arms. He's kind of got Tyrannosaurus Rex arms. I'm worried about him getting off blocks in the NFL. But I don't think you can rule him out. If the corners are gone, you don't go with the receiver. Maybe Jordan Davis is gone as well. The Vikings could definitely go with an outside linebacker and edge rusher, whether it's Jermaine Johnson, George Karlaftis. I think he's still very much in play for the Vikings at 12. Again, defenses 3-4. They want to have edge rushers. George Karlaftis, there's a lot to like about him. And some places got him ranked very, very high. PFF is one. I think they got him as like one of the top 12 best players in this draft. So George Karlaftis, do not rule him out. I still think he is in play for the Vikings. If they don't go corner, they don't go D tackle, they could definitely go edge rusher next. And George Karlaftis should still very much be in the mix. All right, let me know what you guys think. You think any of these guys are still in play for the Vikings? Am I crazy? Are you holding out for Stingley? I think we all are, but definitely some of these guys still in play. Some aren't. And yeah, so draft is it's closing in, guys. There's still a couple week wait here. Hope you can all hang in there. And while you're trying to hang in there, wait for the draft to get here. Be sure to keep your skull in your hole.